Hey guys, what is up? So today we're gonna finish our pie recipe today, and we are gonna make a pie out of our pie dough we made the other day, and we are gonna make a delicious apple pie recipe by my chef. Let's start this day off and let's go for a bike ride, and I'm gonna get some Jersey Freeze, and then when I come back we're gonna make this awesome apple pie recipe. Curry, what'd you get?
Mint chip.
Got strawberry Dole Whip? How is it?
Pretty good. Tastes like mint.
Look how amazing this is. Yeah, look how creamy it is. Right, what'd you get?
Chocolate and vanilla.
So basic. This is what a basic white person gets. Alright guys, now let's get started with this awesome apple pie recipe. So first off, you just want to get 2.5 pounds of Granny Smith apples, or that's about 5 Granny Smith apples. And now you just want to go ahead and peel all of your apples first, and then we are going to cut up our apples right after. Alright, after you're done cutting all your apples, we are going to use an apple corer. So it's just this little gadget right here, just place it in the center of the apple and just remove the core from the apple, and there we go. And if these apple slices are too big for you, then go ahead and just cut these into smaller size pieces, or you can just use an ordinary knife and just cut your apples from the core. You don't need this gadget if you don't have it. So just go ahead and repeat the same process for 5 apples, and you can make some slices bigger than the others, or if you just want them consistent, just keep it the same. Alright guys, after you have been done coring your apples, just make sure you put it in a large bowl, and now let's make our dry mixture. So first off, we're going to measure 3 1/4 cups of granulated sugar. So first off, we got our 1/2 cup right here, and just make sure you level it off and make sure you get it pretty precise. But if you get a little bit extra or a little bit less, it's not going to make much of a difference, because, you know, apples can be sweeter or sour sometimes. So now we got our 1/4 cup right here, and as you can see, we have a large chunk that we're going to break up later. And now we are going to measure out some all-purpose flour. We are going to get 2 tablespoons, and make sure you level it off like so. After you're done with that, just go ahead and measure out some salt. We are going to measure out 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and make sure you level that off as well. Next off, we got our cinnamon, and make sure you level off 1 teaspoonful. And now we are just going to mix the dry mixture. Alright, after you're done mixing all of your dry ingredients, now let's go coat these apples. So just pour in your apples into a large bowl, and now we are just going to sprinkle the dry mixture evenly across the apples. Now you just want to go ahead and mix the apples and make sure they're evenly coated, and just go ahead and just rattle them around and toss them up. Alright, after you're done mixing your apples, now just cut a lemon in half and just squeeze the juice out of it. And be sure not to put any seeds in it, or else you will break a teeth later on. So just go ahead and squeeze the lemon like so, or use 1 to 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Just go ahead and toss it like that. And now we are going to saran wrap and put it in the fridge. And now we're going to roll out our dough for this pie. Now we are going to pull out our pie dough. And if you haven't made your pie dough yet, you can either use my recipe that I made 2 weeks ago, or you can use any one that you have by yourself. And now on a flat piece of surface, we are gonna use some all-purpose flour and just go ahead and sprinkle it across, and make sure your pie dough is nicely coated. So after your pie dough is nicely coated, just go ahead and follow my rolling technique. I'm just pounding the rolling pin on it until it gets thin enough for me to roll it. And my rolling pin is a little bit broken, so it makes this job a little bit harder, but you want to make sure you just consistently rotate it and roll it until it is about 1/8 of an inch, or until it's big enough to cover your pie dish. So once it's big enough to cover your pie dish, we're just gonna roll it onto our rolling pin, just like so, and we are gonna just roll it on top of our pie dish, and it's very easy to transfer. Just go ahead and line in the middle, just wipe off some of the excess flour and just roll it up, just like so. And now we're gonna roll it out on top of our pie dish, and we're just gonna fit it into the crevice of the dish. So just go ahead and layer it off like so. Just be sure to push all the sides in and make sure it is a nice cavity. And now we're just going to trim out some of the excess dough laying outside of our pie dish, but you don't want to trim too much because we need to fold our top dough in. After you're done trimming your pie dough, we are going to add in our apple filling. So just go ahead and pour everything in it, and make sure you get any mixture that's left behind as well. And you want to make sure you evenly disperse the apples, because you don't want one slice to have more apples than the other. And now we're going to roll out our other piece of dough. So just go ahead and sprinkle that as well, and just smack the rolling pin with it, and just keep on doing the same technique, and just get it down to a workable size, and then we'll roll it. So just go ahead and roll it, and make sure you get down to 1/8 of an inch like the other one, and just keep on rotating it frequently until it will cover your pie. So after you're done rolling it out, now we're just going to roll onto the rolling pin, and we're going to roll it out on top of it, cut out the excess dough, and we are going to crimp together the bottom and top dough so it seals together. Just go ahead and cut off any excess dough that is hanging outside the dish, and basically you're just going to grab the bottom piece of dough and just fold it on top of the top one, and this is basically crimping your dough. And if you want, you can also do this with a fork, or any way you want it, any way you can do it. After you're done crimping your dough, we are gonna put an egg wash on top for that nice golden brown color. So just go ahead and beat one egg up, and we're gonna brush that on top. And after we're done brushing the egg wash on top, we are gonna make some vents and just throw it in the oven. Just go ahead and make sure you brush your pie evenly so it looks nice. After you're done brushing your dough like that, just go ahead and sprinkle about 1/2 tablespoon of sugar on top. Just go ahead and make some slices on top like so the steam can vent out of our pie. And now let's stick it in the oven. So we're gonna bake our pie at 350 degrees for 50 minutes. Just put it in. And this is we still have about 16 minutes left on our timer. I'm just gonna put a tin foil on top because it is burning a little bit. So now our pie is done, and we're gonna remove it off. And to tell if it's done or not, our pie at the bottom is not gonna have any undercooked dough. So as you can see, it was golden brown on the bottom. So now let's let this cool out on room temperature for 1 to 2 hours, and look how beautiful our pie is. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and cut a slice, and we are gonna taste test. Alright guys, here we go. Our amazing apple pie inspired by my chef. And look at our crust. It is nice and flaky on top. You can just see all these layers built up, and let's give it a try. Oh yeah, look at this. Oh. Let's give it a try like that. It's warm just like how I like it. The apples could be sliced a little bit smaller. The cinnamon, very nice. The top of our crust, just amazing. Honestly, pie is like a sandwich. You gotta make sure you got good filling. You also gotta make sure you got a good piece of crust, or else it just doesn't taste like pie. Overall, like 8 out of 10. Like, the crust is so easy to make, and it's also very delicious. You can also put some ice cream with this and make it a dessert. Well, that's it, guys. Please be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the future.